I mean, some subs here and there, but yeah.
That's about it. That's about it. Like the best place to write sups is out in the boonies, you know.
Right.
And you're like, listen
We're
here, Mister.
live.
Yeah.
All right, and we are live. Welcome to Taco Tuesday, and Glenn's tacos look absolutely mouth-watering. All right, one at a time, gentlemen.
Okay.
Glenn, let's see your tacos. Were they homemade again?
Homemade again. Taco Bell's losing money again.
Dang.
They look
Green
fantastic.
salsa, though. That's the key this week is green salsa, you guys.
What kind of meat? Was it brisket or something else?
Oh, just beef. Just shredded, not shredded. Well, ground beef. Ground beef tacos.
Okay. They look fantastic. Scott, what are you packing?
Yes,
We've got some carne asada and some chicken tacos from Burrito Amigos. They do it right.
That looks good. That looks good. So last week we had we tried out those alternative rolled tacos, and I don't care what anybody says, they're rolled tacos, and they weren't good. So we went back to Old Reliable today.
Nice.
Oh no! No!
Are those taquitos? Those aren't tacos.
They're rolled tacos, you guys.
They're desk tacos now.
They're messy tacos now. Now.
It's a late lunch over here on the West Coast.
Oh man, so you guys are both an hour behind me. So this is an early Taco Tuesday for you guys. It's always early for Glenn though.
It is.
Yep.
I like the kind of a dinner, the lunch dinner. If I had to really choose.
All right, guys. So Scott, we were talking about before we went live here about AEP. Talk to me about AEP. What are you guys doing to prepare? What are you expecting? You ready for the first? Talk to me.
Scott, and you have a local, if I remember correctly, Scott, didn't you post a picture of your local office? Don't you have like a legit like local office, big sign on the front, right?
We're in business now. Correct.
Nice.
Over the COVID-19, we did this lease and we took out a lease on this office. And so it was really kind of strange doing that, but we are super excited. There's about 13 of us total. There's about 4 of us full-time in the office. And then we have a couple other guys that are kind of part-time. But we're super excited. I was just telling Christian, we all morning we were emptying boxes and filling it up for all the enrollment guides and things like that. And we're going back. I'm getting back to head to a pre-AEP meeting with some of the local carriers here in Eugene. So it's going to be a long night, but super excited. Like, what's it going to be like? I mean, I think there's going to be production. But man, it's just, what's it gonna be like, you guys?
I don't know, and to make it even crazier, the election, right?
I'm not gonna miss that debate tonight. I gotta watch that.
You're saying you are gonna miss it, or you're not?
I can't miss it. I can't miss it. I have to
I have a feeling it's going to be just fantastic. I don't care politically who you want to win that debate tonight. I can already tell. Like, I wish there was I feel like there should be drinking game rules for the debate tonight. If fake news gets said, take a double shot.
Glenn, I'm gonna FaceTime you during it, and we'll just have shots lined up. And everything. So guys, anybody that doesn't know Scott Sims, I didn't really give Scott a very proper introduction.
Please do give him
and anybody that doesn't know Scott Sims, Scott is, Scott is like overnight social media sensation, right? I mean, I don't know how else to explain Scott other than that. I mean, Scott's blown up on TikTok. I have not seen any insurance agents just leverage and hammer TikTok like Scott has. And
that was something I really wanted to talk about was TikTok, how that started, how it's been performing. I am really curious to know more about that.
And Scott has an app out now on the App Store. Like, damn, dude, he's got all this stuff going on.
I don't want to say it like this, but I got some of that negativity out of my life, you guys, and I'm like, you know what? Let's fill it up with good stuff. Let's see how much we can push this being an agent, and just trying to stay on top of things and trying to think outside the box and just get creative. And so I thought we might talk a little bit about the whole TikTok thing this afternoon. And it's just been a lot of fun. So we can get into it. Where do you guys want to start?
I mean, like,
our mouths are not full. I see how you do it. You ask the question, you take a bite. So I got to fill up this time a little bit, right?
So, Glenn, I don't know if you have the same question. I'm sure you probably do, because we've done enough of these. I think a lot of things we kind of are on the same page on, but like my question for you, Scott, and I know we did a video before about this. We talked about TikTok a little bit, but like, what made you have the idea to even try TikTok? Because I think for most people, like, especially with these new platforms come out, like, it's like when Snapchat came out years ago, you weren't seeing a lot of people in the insurance industry on that platform or thinking that it was even viable for the profession. What made you be like, what did you see that was like, hey, I can do something with this?
Yeah. So when I started following Gary Vee, and I hate to just keep saying this, but I started following Gary online, and I was really blown away by his passion and all the stuff he was talking about, you guys. And he kept talking about TikTok. I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? So I download it and just start looking at it. I don't know, like the amount of growth that he was talking about with it. I'm like, listen, there's a lot of great guys on Facebook talking about Medicare. You got Justin, you got Christian, Glenn, there's just a bunch of people on Facebook, and it's great. That's great. More the merrier. But I was just thinking, you know what? Let's throw him a curveball, and let me just start doing some things. Like, let me try to figure this out a little bit and just see if it makes sense at all. Okay. And so I was thinking at first, let's talk to the younger folks. Let's talk to the people maybe that are trying to find a job during COVID. January is when I really started to take this serious. And then so COVID hits in March. And so I'm just, people are out of jobs. And so I'm like, let's talk about the possibilities and just see what happens with it. So I started making some videos, and some people started reaching out. And so I'm like, okay, like this, there's something here to this. There's something going on. And so I rode that. I was kind of talking about becoming an agent and doing things like that for a number of months. And then here within the last couple months, I just, with my situation where I'm at within my business, I'm not in a position to try to grow a huge agency and try to get people from all over the country to work with. And so, maybe down the road here a little bit, but so I'm like, let's just see if the seniors are on TikTok. So let's just start talking about Medicare. Let's just start doing some things. And I'm telling you guys, over just the past couple weeks, I mean, it's like grown by 10,000 over just a few weeks. And so it's really happening. like when I'm getting messages in my TikTok inbox from these long messages, hey, can you help me with this? Can you do this? And I'm a believer, you guys, and I know it sounds silly, and most people that watch this, they're probably like, what? But no, it's real. Like, this is really happening. So it's just been fun. It's just been fun.
You've written applications. I want to be really clear on this. So you've written Medicare applications from people who found you organically on TikTok. So
I've had to refer a few out to people because I haven't been licensed in their state. Okay. But this week I've had 4 different people from California reach out to me. And I mean, it's crazy. So physically, technically, as of today, I have not written in Oregon, Washington, or Arizona. Right. But messages, hey, I'm turning 65 in January. And even Christian, like I've reached out to Christian a few times. I've had to refer some things out because they've come in and I'm just not licensed in that state. So however you want to chalk that up, Glenn. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I have faith.
I think it's awesome.
So do I. I mean, I think, Glenn's somebody that's a big content guy, has been doing it for a long time, with books, Facebook groups, YouTube channels, like he's done everything. Like, I think he can agree with me. I had somebody today, there's no better feeling than when somebody, contacts you, whether you're an agent writing an app or, maybe it's someone buying a batch of leads or whatever it is. Like, there's no better feeling when someone finds you organically through content you put out and they call you and that turns into a client or a customer or something like that. Like I had someone today, literally today, call the office just out of the blue. They're turning 65 in December and they're out in the boonies in Utah, like a place that nobody's ever heard of in Utah. Population's got like 2 or 3 people or something like that. And they contact me. They're turning 65. They found me on YouTube organically, not even a paid ad. And boom, meds up, drug plan. I mean, there's no better feeling than that, and social media brings that to you, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, blogs, all that stuff. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. And it's kind of going away from the norm when you can actually create something and have somebody reach out to you. There's no better feeling than that. Like you said, I mean, this is a tough game. This is a tough business to make it in, right? And so if you can have people calling you just like everybody else talks about, if you get that inbound traffic, it's just closing the deal and being educated on the process. I mean, it's very exciting.
I like the idea of, thinking differently. Like you said, I mean, Facebook is so saturated, I think, in so many ways. Open enrollment hasn't even started yet. I'm seeing Medicare ads. I'm seeing everyone talk about the Medicare ads they're seeing. People are trying to run their own Medicare ads. You're also going to be competing with these gigantic companies who are also on Facebook, Humana, eHealth, all these different giant companies that are spending 100 times more than, an independent agent's going to be spending. So, yeah, I just think it's awesome that, you thought different. If you had asked me, 6 months ago and you're like, hey, Glenn, what do you think about trying to target seniors on TikTok? I would have just been like, you're insane. But
it's just weird. Like I started doing some of these videos just talking about Part D, supplements, this and that. And all of my followers, they're all gray haired now. Like everything is just, they're 55 plus. I mean, I don't know. It blows my mind. It really does, because it's just, here about 8 months ago, it was something everybody thought, 15-year-old, 18-year-old girls are dancing and just doing that stuff. But
me.
I've learned a ton about SEO, YouTube. Stop that. It's been crazy. And so I've used my YouTube channel. I've just learned so much from these videos. There's a lot of marketing type videos, SEO type stuff. So it's been kind of a marketing type 8 months, this whole TikTok thing. So I've learned a lot, and I'm going to keep doing it because people keep reaching out. So why not? It takes a minute to do a video. It takes a minute, to do a video, and I don't know, quick advertising.
Your background, Scott, looks like it's a fake Zoom background, but I know the weather is amazing in the Pacific Northwest today. So I feel you being outside, brother.
So Glenn, I have a question for you.
Yeah, fire away.
I'm going to give you 2 YouTube channels with 2 different subscriber amounts. And I want you to tell me which one is Scott Sims and which one is the other one. Okay. And you probably have looked this up already, so it might not be a very interesting conversation. Okay. So Scott Sims' YouTube channel compared to Justin Brock's YouTube channel.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey.
I love I love Justin Brock. Justin Brock has way more subscribers on YouTube than I do, but I mean, Justin's this huge guy in the industry. I just wanted to kind of put something into perspective here. So one YouTube channel has 1.79 thousand subscribers. The other one has 3.3 thousand subscribers, about double. Which one is Justin Brock and which one is Scott Sims?
I would have said, I feel like this is a loaded question. So I'm assuming Scott has the bigger subscriber count. If you had just asked me like in a less, you could ask me like in a more straightforward way.
I ruined the question.
You did ruin the question. You're horrible.
Okay, all right. I'll take it. I'll take the heat for that one. But
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, and Justin
put that in
puts out
perspective.
an insane amount of content and quality content too. So where do you find you're gaining most of those subscribers, Scott? Is that coming from your TikTok? Is there call to actions in your TikTok that you're moving these folks back to your YouTube channel? Because obviously I think it's good to diversify, right? I mean, that's a big thing. There's an agency, I don't know what agency it is, but I've heard them spoken about, and that they generate almost all of their business off Twitter. And again, this is one of those things where if you had told me 6-8 months ago, like, hey, what if we went all in on Twitter and just tried to market to seniors through Twitter? I would have been like, probably not a great idea. But then again, I think there's also kind of it's a saturation thing, right? I mean, there's so many people on Facebook that, well, maybe Reddit, maybe TikTok, maybe Twitter, maybe these other social media platforms that don't come, to the front of your mind. Maybe there's a lot more going on there. So where do you feel like you're getting a lot of those subscribers from, Scott?
Yeah, ultimately it's from TikTok. It has to be. It has to be. And so I do call to actions all the time. Like I said, like my first 6 months with it, I was talking to the agents and I was helping them. I was giving out good information like you guys and like Justin. And, I wanted to just provide some value. And so, yeah, it has to be from TikTok, a call to actions. And so a lot of people were reaching out, hey, I found you on TikTok, this and that. And so it is ultimately, you guys, it is.
Here's a question for you, Scott. What's going on? I haven't been following this, but, they kept saying they were going to shut TikTok down. What's going on
about this too?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people were thinking it was really going to happen. I guess an update to that is Walmart and Oracle bought it out. They're the U.S. purchasers, I guess. So they purchased it, and I believe we're still in action. The TikTok is still there. I think everything's good to go, you guys. But no, a lot of people were like, hey, this is my last video. Go follow me on Instagram. Go follow me on YouTube, this and that, because they thought it was going to go away. So
that's wild.
I love Scott, how you've turned into the voice and the spokesman for TikTok in the insurance industry, because people are asking you, hey, is it going away? What's going on? And you're like, I don't know anything, and other than what you guys know.
Yeah. Man, there was something I wanted to say, but slipped my mind.
My bad.
All right.
So one thing that is interesting to me is I keep getting targeted on Facebook for running TikTok ads. Have you ever tried that?
I did a couple months back. I was just going to run a video talking to agents. Hey, if you're looking for a career type thing, this is something you can do. And the ad got rejected. And I've come across this with some other people on TikTok talking about how ads get rejected pretty easily. So you guys, I've been pretty busy. It was one of those things where I just wanted to throw some money at it, see what happened. But it got rejected. And so I'm like, I'm not going to deal with it now. I just want to keep rolling. And so with the website and stuff, I didn't want to go there.
I understand.
But you guys, this is the thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about is, with TikTok and doing these videos, if you put the content out there and if you're consistent with it, good things are going to happen and people are going to start following you. So if you're looking to get any sort of momentum, maybe some confidence, it's something else. It's something else where maybe, you don't have any family members or local friends that are following you on it. And for me, that was something that I considered because, I have a lot of friends. I live in my town where I grew up and, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to be somebody that was out there pushing stuff online, right? I just didn't know if I wanted to do that. So for me, going to this other platform and just kind of finding myself and finding some confidence and getting better with talking on camera, it's been a lot of fun. And it's just as your followers grow, the more exposure you're getting, and you're just going to get more views. So it's just a good way to get some free advertising if you want to get out there. I'm getting close to like 40,000 right now. My goal personally is to get to 100,000 like in the next 6 months or so. If I can do something like that, or a year, whatever.
That's huge.
It's just every time you put out a video, it's just going to get more views. It's just that's just how it works. So
right?
This level, getting inbound traffic, think about in 2 years from now when things are even bigger. I mean, so I just feel like I'm kind of onto something a little bit, and I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. Have fun.
You're doing it, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my perspective is, regardless of the platform, if you can get 100,000, if you can get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, but let alone 100,000 followers on a platform, that is real influence that you can do a lot of things with, even no matter what you're doing. Like, let's say Scott, tomorrow you woke up and you're like, screw it, I don't want to be an insurance agent anymore, I want to go do this. Having that following built up, it gives you leverage and it gives you the ability to kind of, you're able to promote things. You're able to kind of, spread a message. You're able to become instantaneously well-known for whatever it is that you're doing. In your case, it's, being a really great insurance agent. There's no downside to having a big following like that, regardless of the platform, in my opinion.
Right. No, and you're absolutely right. Like if Medicare were to go away tomorrow, I feel like I could start something else up just because of that. And I have. I mean, I don't know if we want to get into it, but
Life Alert.
Huh?
Start selling Life Alert, brother. If Medicare.
No, we don't want to do that. No, but I just had this other idea of like, hey, what about an app? Like, is there any insurance agents that have an app out there? And
I don't know any. Yeah. Talk about the app. Talk about the app for a second. Where did that come from?
So, really cool story, you guys. Really cool story. So let me tell you before I forget it. Okay. So it went live last Sunday. Okay. It went through the App Store and it finally went live Sunday. Tuesday morning, I wake up with an email from somebody in Washington State up in Spokane. And he's asking me about Medicare, coming off a disability. He's starting Medicare in January. And I got an email like within 2 days of having this app. And I'm like, what? I haven't even talked to anybody about it. Like, so I email him back and I'm like, how did you, where did you? Oh, I was just searching it I just searched on the App Store. I'm like, okay, all right.
Is it Medicare Made Easy?
It is. Yes.
Found it.
It's
Wow.
That's it. I just kind of threw it together, you guys. Like, I did not put a ton of thought into this thing. I was just like, let me put my videos on an app. Let me talk a little bit about my my new office and things like that. And so, you know, the name of the app, we may need to change that. I don't know. But you know, if I do, I do. And honestly, I would rather, I would like to just have a Scott Sims app, Christian Brindle app, Glenn Shelton app, you know, and just, you know, promote yourself, promote whatever you want. But I want to help other agents that maybe that don't have a website, they don't want to deal with that. Just be like, hey, like try this app thing out. Like tell people, hey, download my app. Like, you know, hey, download my, that's credibility. To me, that's credibility. That's somebody that's serious. Like getting an app, I don't know. It's just.
It looks awesome, man. I just opened it up. It looks great. I mean, this is definitely, you know, and here's the thing is I've talked to so many people about this. And at one point I actually did have an app. It was a disaster for me personally because I invested a crap load of money into someone overseas and I didn't get the source code. And so I basically just like lit tens of thousands of dollars on fire. But that's another story for another time. But I've had people say, just make your website super mobile friendly. You don't need an app. But when you can live on their device like this, and my phone just asked me, it said, do you want to let Scott Sims send you push notifications? And I said, and that's huge, right? That's huge. You know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm on my phone like 6-8 hours a day, right? We all are. So, you know, being able to be in someone's pocket like that, I think is absolutely money, dude. This is freaking awesome.
And it's not gonna, agree. And it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars. Like I want to do this. I've partnered with somebody that's been building these apps for a while, and I've talked with him already. Like if a 6-figure Medicare Agent discount, like it's going to be under $1,000, you guys, if you want your own app. I mean, I'm going to hook you up. If there's people out there, apps for pros, okay? It's my little website. I put it together. It's not this professional looking website, right? But listen, if you want to reach out to me and talk about it, you know, we're going to hook you up with a good deal. This isn't something where I'm going to try to make a bunch of money. Like, sure, I'm going to make some money if people are buying it, but it's not going to be thousands. I mean, it's going to be under $1,000. I don't know.
Love it. I love it.
I think it's genius, dude. It's, you know, and it is kind of simple, but at the same time, like that means someone's going to get in there and know exactly how to navigate it. I mean, it's all right here. Yeah, I think it's brilliant, man. Especially if you push it hard for the next couple of years, it's kind of like those TikTok followers. This is just going to keep snowballing. You know, you're going to get more and more people on here. So I love it. I think you're a genius. I wish I was as intuitive, creative as Scott Sims. Scott Sims for president 2020.
Yeah. We'll see you at the debate tonight.
Yeah. Take him down, Scott.
You got to come down to Eugene, Glenn. Come on.
It's down, Scott. I have to go down to Eugene. I am further north than you.
I'll come up to see you.
We should go to Portland. Let's meet in Portland, man. That's what we should do.
Let's do it. It.
I'm down.
I am.
How was your air quality last week or a couple weeks ago? Was it bad down there?
It was 480.
Oh, geez. Parts per million. Yeah. For those of you who don't know.
Hazard.
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the entire West Coast was on fire and our air quality was literally like poison gas. And so we were huddled in our house praying that the poison air
would not kill you. Yeah. I know, Glenn, you sent me a video of like the air and it looked like you were in a volcano.
Yeah. Literally.
I was like, what is going on up there? Like every time I talk to Glenn, I've heard some crazy thing going on in Washington or Oregon. Like I hear about pimps running cities and all kinds of stuff. Like, like what is going on up there?
Seattle, yay! To kind of transition the conversation, though, so here's kind of my for you guys to get away from the pimps running cities. I've already seen in my business how the political atmosphere is affecting our day-to-day operations. People aren't answering their phones as much as they were a month ago. And unfortunately for me personally is politics they've created a loophole. You got to love politicians. There's a loophole for robocalls where if you're a politician, you're allowed to make as many robocalls as you want. And so, I think that's something that from now until probably, the election, till the election's over, we're probably going to see a pickup rate that's at a slight decline. And I was complaining about this to someone else, and they were like, hey, Glenn, we talked about this in 2016 and the same exact thing happened. So I'm curious for both of you guys, have you seen anything where you feel like you're going to have, interference from the political atmosphere and what your game plan is?
Well, I mean, for me, I agree with everything you said about the political. I mean, people are just not focused on anything other than politics when it comes to an election. And so I think there's some of that. I think, they're just not focused on things as much as normal. But I think also the robocalls is huge. Like we've had tons of robocalls even at our office in the last couple of weeks here. I don't know. Senator Ted Cruz has been calling our office for like 2 years or something. I don't know. I thought he wasn't. I don't know why, but that keeps showing up on the caller ID. But another thing that I think it's interesting.
Ed, stop calling Christian.
Leave me alone. Funny story. I'm getting off track here, but like so one of our gals picks up the phone the other day and she thought it was a robocall, and she picks up and she's like, it's just another stupid Ted Cruz call, blah blah blah, and then she puts her ear to the phone and it's a person. It's an actual person. It's not a robocall. It's a person. They're like, hello? Is Robert available? Is Christian available? Is any of the Brindles there? And so it was just funny. But another thing that I've noticed that was interesting, and I put a podcast out about this yesterday on the Everything Medicare podcast. I've seen a lot of people get robocalls, and then they're not even robocalls. They're just one of those, things where they'll just leave a message on someone's voicemail. And they're basically about Medicare, and it's very sketchy as hell. Medicare things at that. They're like, you have 3 days to call us back to maximize your full benefits. Otherwise, you're going to lose this opportunity and blah 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 blah. Like I played the recording on the podcast, so if anybody that wants to hear it can go listen. I was just like roasting them a little bit, but I've seen a lot of that. I've had several of my own clients call me and ask if they were going to miss anything because of these, stupid robocall things. My dad got a call, any some of those. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to make this year interesting. I have not seen that before. That was the first time I had seen something quite like that. So I think the politics on one side is definitely going to play a factor, but I think, a lot of these big corporations are kind of finding more creative ways to get in front of eyeballs and ears and all that stuff.
What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, for myself, not so much. I haven't noticed too much. I've been getting more phone calls from my clients that are already questioning what's available to them. Like they're wanting to know what's going on with the plans and what's coming in and stuff. I'm like, hang on, like we got to wait till October. So not so much, Glenn. I haven't noticed. I haven't personally.
I think we're kind of lucky up here because, again, we call all over the U.S., right? So I think we're kind of lucky that our states really aren't competitive on the national scale. And so I think in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon and Washington, I don't think we get a lot of what I see in these other states. If it's a battleground state where it could potentially go either way, national, presidential, Senate races, I think there is so much marketing being saturated into these places. Good luck for everybody with AEP. Yeah. It's going to be a disaster in some of these states. That's what I feel like is coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting too. I mean, another thing that I've noticed, and Scott, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, like when your clients have contacted you, just, questioning what's available, hasn't it been because a call center person has reached out to them or they've seen a commercial and they've contacted somebody? It's got to be tied to something like that, right?
Yeah, I've just chalked it up as a commercial thing because I'm seeing them all the time still, you guys. And so I'll just be like, have you seen the commercial? And sometimes they'll say yes, but I've just put it on that. Like, Joe Namath, you're not getting all of those, not those plans don't have all of those benefits that they're talking about, at least in our area, right? So some of the people will call me and ask about this, and I'm like, yeah, that is available here, but the plans don't have everything that you're hearing in that. So just clearing it up, just clearing some things up with them. Yeah.
One thing that I've found challenging myself, and we're handling it, right? It's not something that we're not able to deal with, but like, any person that's contacting Joe Namath or any of these, commercials, they're going over 2021 benefits with them now. They are. Yeah. And I just know this because our phones have been blowing up the last 2 weeks with clients. And a lot of them have contacted the phone numbers. Like I had a situation last week where one of my clients, she's 93 years old, right? So she's sharp as a tack, but she's 93 years old. And they're trying to move her. She has a Medicare Advantage plan with Aetna in the market with drugs. They're trying to move her to a United Healthcare plan without drugs because it's going to have a $50 Medicare Part B give back, and it's a 2021 benefit. It's not available right now. And so
question really fast, cut you off here. Is the CMS rules that you can't transact the business, or are the CMS rules you can't even talk about it until
can't talk about it? You can't even say, you're not supposed to say a word.
I think a lot of people violate that then, because I know there was one relatively big call center last year who spent the 2 weeks leading up to open enrollment, and they were pre-setting appointments for the first week or two of open enrollment. I don't know exactly what they said on that phone call, but that seems like a gray area at the least. I wasn't sure about that.
If tons of people do it, like countless. They violate it. It's no different than scope of appointments. Tons of people violate that rule. And if someone was to get caught violating one of those rules, that's when they're in a load of shit. It's not quite as bad as taking a nap before the 15th. That's probably as bad as, it gets, taking a nap before the 15th, but it's almost there, talking about the benefits. And so they take it real seriously. But the call centers, they just don't care. A lot of agencies don't. But my point is that puts a local agent or, just a regular agent at a disadvantage because they're trying to follow the rules, right? They don't want to lose their business. They don't want to lose their license. They want to get fined. And their clients are calling them and be like, why didn't you tell me about this? I'm like, well, that plan doesn't have drugs for one. You take 10 medications. I'm like, and then she's like, and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I've noticed a lot of that. So I was just curious, Scott, if you've seen that too.
Yeah, just some phone calls. And it just seems weird to me that 2 weeks, like you were mentioning, just leading up to AEP, it's like, who's calling you? Somebody's talking to you. Somebody's in your ear. You're not calling me you're not that curious about the plans, right? I mean, let's be honest. You're not staying up at night in September wondering what benefits are coming. So yeah, I totally agree. Somebody's getting in their ear, but hey, that's the business,
but it happens every year. It's not like this is new, but I haven't noticed it this much.
Well, think about it though, with the pandemic, right? I mean, more people are probably thinking about their health insurance than ever. So maybe there are some people who are staying up late and they're like, I wonder what my benefits will be like because they're worried about it. I don't know. I mean, this, like Scott said at the start of this whole thing, this AEP could go like a number of different ways, and I really wouldn't be surprised by any of it. Like it could be kind of normal. It could be horrible. It could be explosive. I kind of feel like there's going to be less agents working and a whole lot more people wanting help. That's kind of what my gut is when I kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of funny, taking it back to the politics. The political effect of the enrollment period is more what I mean. But like, I talked to a client the other day and he's like, I like my plan. We're just going to stick with it this year. He has a med sup, so it's not changing or anything, but like, he's like, well, I'm just going to stick with it for next year. He's like, unless Biden gets elected, he's like, then, I might have to change everything. I'm like, why does it matter? Like, why? So I'm like,
Everything's going to change. The world is
Everything.
going to change.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna change. Plan G be damned. Plan N be damned. And
Plan. There's going to be a Z plan. Yeah, all sorts of weird stuff.
a Z plan.
Crazy. That's so crazy.
Biden care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But yeah, guys, I mean, it's interesting. So we're literally just a couple of days away. Scott, what is your typical routine once the first rolls around?
That's exactly what I was going to ask is what is your operationally, like, what are your, like, are you trying to drive more people into your physical location? Are you going out to meet people? Are you going to be doing business over the phone? Is it kind of a mismatch? Like, you're going to do a little bit of it all? I'm kind of curious to know.
As I swallow this food, listen, guys, I've been a hustler. I've been somebody that's been out at the kiosk growing my business the past 6 years. Okay. So I haven't been somebody that's been, I haven't had an office. And so I've been out there talking with people these past 6 years, just talking, hustling, grinding, and signing people up. So this year's been weird. Obviously, now that we have a location, we have other agents that do a lot of really good things, a lot of production. And so I'm trying to find myself as going forward, like with this year, I am going to be out at the stores again. And, that's something that I look forward to in the future, not doing that. Okay. But for me, where I'm at in my business, that's what I'm going to go do, and wearing a mask and just wishing for the best. So there's a lot of unknown. Like, I don't like going into open enrollment where I'm at right now. I'll be honest. Like, I want to be in the office. I want to have more of a marketing structure, all of these different things in order. And these are things that we've been working on. It's just, we're so new to it. We've got a lot of really smart people in my office, and we're working really hard on how to do this and how to do it right. So, when Justin had his that event earlier in the year, I was going to go to that and just see if I can learn some stuff, and about having a brick and mortar. So I'm just continuing to learn, you guys. I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm just trying to stay busy. That's the thing, is like, just stay busy. Like, just, if you got to go out and do the kiosk, then do the kiosk. I don't know.
No, dude, you nailed it. And the thing is, like I understand, like, being like concerned that you don't have the structure, but the truth is, some of these people who have more of a rigid structure might fail this year because they're not as flexible with what's coming. So being in a position where you're at, where you can kind of maybe flex into some different areas, that might be really beneficial this year. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, staying busy, that's kind of the bottom line. Like, if you talk to enough people, and this is, this was told to me from day one, and I still believe it to this day in this industry, is talk to enough people, you'll write enough apps, you'll make as much money as you really could possibly want. And you really just scale that. How many people do I want to talk to today or this week or this month? And that's really the key. It's less about where or how, and it's more about just, did you talk to them? Did you write the apps? Just bang, bang, bang.
Yep. You got to execute, and you got to get those apps. And Glenn, I know some of these videos you've talked about, 2 or 3 years, work your butt off 2 to 3 years, get that residual going. And then you're in a little bit more of a comfortable spot to get a little bit more flexible. What do you want to do with your business? I mean, that's the beauty about this business, you guys. I mean, how do you want to do it? There's nobody saying you have to do it that way. You can do it whichever way works. And for myself, somebody going down to a kiosk at a grocery store, hey, I'll do it.
Whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the insurance business is, I think business in general, maybe not just the insurance business, but like, it's one of those things. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and not that you should skin cats. All you people that took me seriously there, I don't want you to come back and say, Christian told me to go skin a cat. I didn't say that, but No, but in all seriousness, guys, like there's more than one way to do it, and there's no exact, cookie cutter way that works, and there's so many ways that you can get business. We've talked about so many things, today, like, no one would have thought that TikTok would generate, leads organically for seniors and on Medicare. And so activity is the name of the game, right? I mean, it's just, the more activity you have and the more different things you're doing in your business, the luckier you're going to get.
40 million seniors, right? I mean, there's the target market for insurance age. I mean, and again, like I was thinking about just the other night, like, okay, and in 10 years, this is going to scale to 80 million people in the Medicare spectrum. Like, there's never going to be enough. There's not going to be enough agents. There's not going to be enough calls. Like, and so I just laugh whenever I see these people talking about saturation or how am I possibly going to get client. Like, it doesn't matter how you just find them. There's going to be 80 million and by 2030, there's going to be 80 million seniors on Medicare. So like,
and what was the number again on agents? Wasn't there like, wasn't it like 40,000 Medicare contracted agents, something like that?
Yeah, I heard from somebody, I don't know what the official stat is, but I heard it's like 60,000 Medicare contracted agents.
Okay. Yeah.
Round it up to 100,000 if you want.
Yeah.
That's still
nothing.
Yeah, there's probably 400 or 500 seniors right now for every one contracted Medicare agent. And as we know, 9 out of 10 Medicare agents aren't going to really write any business. So it's really, you've got 5,000 seniors that really need your help for every one agent who writes full time. That's really how I look at the numbers. So, I mean, 5,000 clients, I mean, literally, if you could get to 5,000 Medicare clients, you can pretty much retire if it's on your own pen. I mean, that's a lot of renewals.
That's a ton of renewals at that point. I mean, that's insanity, but it's true. Scott, I wanted to quickly, so I don't want to go over the time period. So was your meeting at 5 or do you have to be out at 5?
I've got to be there in 12 minutes and I'm about 12 minutes away. So,
okay. So we should probably wrap up here.
Yeah. We probably should.
So Glenn, final thoughts.
Yeah. I think there's so much to be taken away from what Scott shared today. And I really appreciate you coming on, Scott. But just the creativeness and, one thing, like coming into the industry, I definitely would get caught up in how do you compete with these gigantic businesses like eHealth, who are going to come into AAP and they're going to drop, 9 figures on marketing. But, Scott is a great example of someone who isn't spending anything and able to generate interest. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So, that's kind of my final thought is stay busy and just figure out how to find those seniors. And you don't even have to pay money to do it, so, which I think is awesome.
I agree. Scott, any final thoughts?
No, it's just we're in an age where there's a lot of people that want to help each other. Both of you guys, the Justins, the Codys, all of those guys, very good people, and they want to help you. So if you're a newer agent and you're watching this, step outside of your comfort zone. All right. Get out of your comfort zone. Go do something that you're not comfortable doing and keep doing it. And good things will happen. And so if you're working your business, get out there. It's uncomfortable to go talk with people you don't know sometimes, right? So if you're doing things online, it's going to help your confidence. So just be active, just like Glenn was saying, be active. And good things should happen if you have a good heart and you're trying to do the right things. Good things will come your way. So
I agree, guys. My final thoughts are the 1st is on Thursday. Get to work.
Yeah, that's right.
All I got to say. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Until next Taco Tuesday.
Which are we going every other Tuesday?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. So guys, just due to AUP, our schedule is going to change just a little bit. So we're going to break it off into every other Tuesday now. And we'll kind of see what happens after AUP. We'll kind of figure out if we go back to normal schedule from there, but I'm sure we will. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, just because Glenn's going to be crazy busy, I'm going to be crazy busy. And yeah, we're just going to go down to every other week. So we won't be here next Tuesday, but we'll be on the Tuesday after, and so on and so forth. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, 2 Tuesdays.
Good luck this year, you guys. Good luck.